Lucky enough to get to hunt the Longneck Ranch again in December of 2022. This past December, fortunately I know somebody who's friends with one of the owners, and so I get invited to go every once in a while. And we're going to show you a little bit about what the Longneck Ranch has to offer. Trophy whitetails, white, various white fallow, brown fallow, black buck, oryx, owl-dad, and even working on kudu. And look at you, a good look at the outside of the lodge at the Longneck. Some great accommodations, all the comforts of home and more to go along, so you don't have to rough it when you're on here. Can stay in comfort. We went out, filled up, made sure the deer feeders were all working, and the night before on Friday evening, so ran a few interesting sights. A few does here, wanting us to get out of the way so they can come eat. And you notice the range conditions. This is in Uvalde, Texas.
How pretty is he?
Yeah, white fallow.
Nice fallow deer.
Wow. So we're coming back in after filling up all the feeders, or making sure they're all set. Again, there's a nice axis buck and a young buck with him.
Yeah.
My first morning, I get to sit up and watch a couple of really big whitetails. And you notice out there by the feeder, there's something laying down. Well, at first light, there was a big wild hog that came into the feeder, and they're a nuisance, and they damage and destroy crops and feeders, and so I put that down, and it took them a while for the deer to get over it. And they decided, but they were eventually they went on and just ignored him laying there. The big boy just keeps eating. He doesn't let that dead hog bother him at all. Sun's starting to come up a little higher, and then a few more deer start to show up. And look at them. Mexican eagle or a caracara landed on my hog, and he's starting to eat the eyeballs out of it. I got this young buck here, 2.5-year-old whitetail. He comes within about, I don't know, that's probably 20 yards of the stand. And I don't know, he can smell my Axe body spray or what, but he definitely something don't smell right to him. And he's looking right in the blind, but it's got tinted windows, so he doesn't know what to think. Eventually he's gonna head on over there to see if he can get some corn, but his big brother's kind of hogging the place right now. Like I said, as you can see here, it's a young 2.5-year-old buck. He's got 3 or 4 years growing left on him, but he's pretty nice now. Give me a few more years and some good groceries, he's gonna be a real trophy one day. Longneck has whitetail bucks well over 200 inches and everything. So it's tremendous trophy whitetail potential. As you notice that this area's been under drought or moderate drought conditions for several years now, but you notice they still, by managing their property and controlling the number of animals they have on it, they have got some really good range conditions. There's plenty of forage for these animals, and they're all doing well. You can see his big brother's noticing coming now. He's like, nah, this is my corn. And my my Cara is still chowing down on my hog that I just shot, 30 minutes earlier. And big boy. And some does have come out right down by the blind, between the blind and the feeder. And Big Brother here, he's noticed the girls coming, and then this time of year, late December, it's the rut in Texas, and he's gonna come down here and check out the girls and see if any of them are interested in a date for the night. But you gotta get close to look at this. Here's another young deer, but look at the mass. Look at all the extra points on this deer. Here again, pretty pose for you here. Yeah, almost came on point, sniffing the air, see if any of those girls are ready for love. Pretty deer. And then look, I guess that sow I shut out there by the feeder had babies, and here's three little piglets. Mama gone. Well, we had to take care of those too, because we don't need them growing up. So we took out they would take out 4 wild hogs on this trip, and each one of those will start breeding at 6 months of age, have their first litter. So it's tough to keep them under control. So you sure don't want to let them grow up if you can help it. And here the next day, it's another young buck coming to the feeder. A lot of potential. In a few more years, be another big deer. And there's one of them, another baby pig. Another baby pig that needs to be removed from the premises. Oh yeah, and food. They feed you well at the Longneck. Prime rib night. As you can see, you eat well. The accommodations are nice. Better than my home. And trophy animals to hunt at the same time. So the Longneck Ranch will take care of you. Prime rib.
Awesome.
Look at that. The next morning, I got visited by a herd of scimitar oryx. They're mostly extinct in Africa, where they're native Africa, but so many people have brought them over and released them as exotics. There's a lot of them in Texas, and they've got quite a number on the Longneck, and some real trophies. This is just one of several groups that I ran across over the 4 days we were hunting. You got cows, you got calves, even got a big herd bull. Just one of the species that's available. They make a great shoulder mount. And here's some more. Just native whitetails, came in different blind, different feeder. Again, you can see the range conditions of really good condition for being basically in a drought. But by controlling the number of animals you got on the property, you can still grow enough forage to take care of. And they do supplemental feed, no doubt. But you can see how well they take care of the range. Now, deer and browsers, they don't eat all that grass, but oryx, elk, kudu, some of those will. And then another group of oryx come to visit me. Smaller group. In a different location on the range. But there's nice herd bull and bring it up the rear, and they come right beside the blind. I mean, within 10, 20 feet of the blind. Look what those horns. Now I know what those long horns are for. Scratching. Look at that. Scratch them itches where you can scratch your own butt with those long horns. Pretty animals. But I'm looking right here. She's coming right beside the blind. And eventually she's gonna notice me or smell me or something. Cause of a little stir. You got the big bull. He's over there grazing on the edge of the sendero. And his girlfriend's coming on by. But I mean, I'm sitting right on the edge of this old road bed here. And they walking right beside me. I'm having to be really still and try to film at the same time. And it's pretty hard to. Eventually one of them, I guess, either smells me or catches motion as I'm trying to move the camera. But here's the bull bringing up the rear. Ah, it's a trophy right there. He would look good on somebody's wall. Oh, and there we go. One of these cows saw me or smelled me one. So I kind of freeze and just be still as I can, and they moved on off, went on by me, and now they're going on down the road. After the oryx went on by, and it got a little later in the morning, I went on a little walkabout. One of these old trails where they cut through the brush years ago. Went just exploring to see what I could see. You notice here's a trail right here. Now they have no livestock. This is all for wildlife only. So any trails where you see are that's wildlife trails. Deer, oryx, aoudad. They have a lot of aoudad as well. I come around this corner and look up ahead of me, and as you can see the does walking down the trail ahead of me. But if you look over to the right of that dark cedar tree on the right, you see that there's a buck standing there, just his head sticking up above the brush, and he's already spotted my movement. And he's zeroed in on me. But he's got 3 girlfriends. They're walking away, and eventually he's not going to want to leave his girlfriends. He's not sure about me. He's got a scrape over across the way under this cedar tree, and he's got a licking branch, and so he's going to go over here and check his branch, check his scrape, rub his face on this, lick on his branch some more here, mark his territory again, like they always do. And then he's gonna go, oh, gotta go catch up to the girls. The girls get too far ahead. And here's a grandson of one of the owners of the Longneck, and he helped eradicate some of these hogs. That's a hunting fool right there now. He's serious about it. These folks don't have to worry about him getting in trouble. He's gonna be too busy hunting his life. There's another one of the little hogs took out of the herd. But there you go. Check them out. LongneckrAnchTexas.com, JerryReinhardt@gmail.com, and they will fix you up.